Alright, so these are geometric sequences. Geometric means that instead of adding the same thing every time to get your next number, you have to multiply by the same thing. So you can multiply by a whole number or a fraction or whatever. So here we're multiplying by a number bigger than 1 because the everything's getting bigger. And how do I multiply to get from 3 to 6? That's times 2. 6 to 12 times 2. 12 to 24 times 2. Make sure it's consistent through all of them. So if it was 3 to 6 is 2, and then 6 to 18 or something, it wouldn't be any kind of determinable sequence, or at least not for this class. So we again have to identify the same three things. We got to find n, which number are we looking for, a, the first number, and r, instead of d being a common difference, r is a common ratio. So I'll actually write that for you, I guess, here. This is the common ratio right there. Okay, and all that is just it's a ratio because you're multiplying. So here our first number is 3. Our common ratio is a 2, so we're multiplying by 2, and the ninth term we're looking for. So n equals 9, and all we do now is plug that into our formula. So a sub 9, alright, 9, is, we have the first number is 3 times the common ratio of 2 times n minus 1, so 9 minus 1. So it's 3 times 2 to the 8th. If you don't know this, or if you don't know how to plug it into your calculator, this has to be done first. You have to do the exponents first before you multiply. So 2 to the 8th is obviously 256. So we have 3 times 256, which equals 768 is our ninth term. So because we're multiplying here, the numbers can get, this is actually exponential, which is why it's in this unit to begin with, the numbers can get really big really fast. Alright, so now let's say we want to add up the sum of the first n terms. So if the numbers are all getting bigger, when you add them up, it's going to be an even huger number. Here, the numbers are getting smaller, so I'm multiplying by a fraction. So it's not necessarily going to be a huge number, but it could be some hellacious, really awful looking fraction. So how do we get from 24 to 8? What do we multiply by? Well, 24 divided by 3 is 8, so that means we have to multiply, because we care about what we multiply by, 1/3. So that's our common ratio. And then 8 times 1/3 is 8 over 3. And now with these ones, you can actually get, if you multiply by a negative number, it's going to flip-flop. So if it was a negative 1/3, then it'd be, this one would be negative, and then a negative times a negative is positive, and then you'd have negative 8 over 9, and then a positive 8 over 27, and then negative 8 over 81, and so forth, and they would flip-flop. And then the sums might kind of cancel each other out and be kind of a smaller number. But we don't. Just wanted to put that for completeness, so when you have that on your test, or it could be on your test that it's a negative ratio, it's not like I didn't show you how to do it a couple times. So we're just going to plug her into our formula. So sum of the first 6 terms, and I did 6 because otherwise these fractions get kind of ridiculous, is going to be the first term, oh my bad, so we have a is the first term, which is 24, the ratio is 1/3, and we're looking for the 6th term, so n is 6. So we go and do that over here, which is going to be 24 times 1 minus 1/3 to the 6th. So when you have 1/3 to the 6th, it'd be a good idea to kind of put parentheses around that so that when you plug that into your calculator or whatever, you do it right. if you're not good with doing fractions. And then over 1 minus the ratio is 1/3. So let's simplify that. 1 minus 1/3 is 2/3. So we have 24 times 1/3 to the 6th, so just a little exponents refresher. Over here, do it down here, I guess. 1/3 to the 6th is like 1 to the 6th over 3 to the 6th. So it's going to be 1 over 729. Alright, so 1/3 to the 6th is 1 over 729. And since it's 1 minus 1 over 729, that's going to give us 728 over 729. So that's what that parenthetical phrase simplifies to. And now I'm going to go plug this into my calculator and put that in parentheses 2. So what that's going to do is plug all that into my calculator. So you can see that's a 2/3. That finishes that. Enter. Give me some decimal because even my calculator doesn't like it. Hit math, fraction, enter, and there we go. There's our final answer. Oh, whoops, I don't know how to make that drawing come up again, but there's our final answer. If you didn't get the notes from before, just rewind it and watch that.